73% of LGBT report experiencing sexual harassment on college campuses compared to 61% of non-LGBT students.
20% of students fear for their physical safety because of their gender identity or perceived sexual orientation.
25% of LGBT students and university employees have been harassed due to their sexual orientation, as well as a third of those who identify as transgender. While no form of discrimination is harmless, there are varying degrees of severity. Discrimination can range from as minor as name-calling and avoidance to as severe as murder. One case of LGBT discrimination being taken to the extreme is the brutal 1998 murder of Matthew Shepard.
Two young men, Russell Henderson and Aaron McKinney, who whispered an obscenity as he came into court, were charged.
In the County of Albany.
Kidnapping, robbery, and attempted murder. A hate crime, according to police, who say the two met Shepard in this Laramie bar, tricked him into believing they were gay too, then the three left together. It was 1 a.m. Wednesday morning, but Shepard, a small man, was allegedly beaten with the butt of a pistol, burned with cigarette butts, and finally tied spread eagle to the fence, left to die.
I am so pissed off. I can't stop crying.
One thing must remain clear. Hate and prejudice are not American values.
39% of LGBT adults at some point in their lives were rejected by close family members or friends.
30% of LGBT adults have been physically attacked or threatened.
58% of LGBT adults have been the targets of jokes and slurs. 29% of LGBT adults have been made to feel unwelcome in a place of worship.
31% of LGBT youth ages 16 to 20 have attempted suicide.
More than 1/3 of LGBT undergrad college students experienced anti-gay harassment in the year 2003.
43% of LGBT students consider the climate on their campus to be homophobic.
The social aspects of discrimination are not the only form of discrimination experienced. The law codes and the way we treat people in the legal and political systems can also be forms of discrimination. But those law codes can sometimes be used to alleviate those problems.
The Utah Anti-Discrimination Bill bans employers, landowners, and property owners from discriminating against people of bias of sexual orientation and gender identity. This ban exempts religious organizations and its affiliates. It protects employees from being fired from talking about religious or moral beliefs, as long as the speech was reasonable and not harassing or disruptive.
Every state but California has a legal defense known as the gay panic defense. This defense allows the defendant to claim that they were the object of romantic or sexual advances by a person of the same gender and that they found the advances so offensive that it caused them to panic and kill the person.
On April 29th, the Supreme Court will hear cases on same-sex marriage from 4 different states. These cases are expected to settle the marriage equality issue nationwide.
When discussing a topic as large as LGBT discrimination, you can not only look at one viewpoint. To fully understand the scope of the topic and how it affects people, you need to talk to many different people and groups of people. No one person can speak for everyone. The Republican Party stands behind a traditional definition of marriage. As a legal union between one man and one woman, this belief does not come from the hatred of homosexuals, as many people try to color it, but from a belief that the institution of marriage was set up such by our founding fathers and has been defined this way throughout history, and that changing it compromises the sanctuary of the institution.
The Democratic Party supports the rights of all families to have equal respect, responsibilities, and protections under the law. They support marriage equality and the movement to secure equal treatment under the law for same-sex couples. They also support the freedom of churches and religious entities to decide how to administer marriage as a religious sacrament without government interference.
What religion are you, and what is your religion's view on homosexuality?
I am part of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and my understanding is that we are accepting of everyone, no matter what their sexual orientation is, and that the importance is to love everyone. However, we are opposed to the individual acting out on those desires of the same gender attraction.
My religion is Islam,
The end.
and I'm not gonna lie to you. In my religion, there's not such a thing as LGBT. It's not. It doesn't exist, and it shouldn't. So and yeah, it's not acceptable.
I was Catholic, and I'm still Catholic, and I still like to go to church. But I didn't know how to feel about it or what the church felt about it. So I went and actually talked to the priest from the church here in Logan. To kind of paraphrase what he said, a sin is a sin, and some people like to put different levels of sin. LGBT, homosexuality being higher up on the worst thing.
What is your religion's viewpoint on discrimination of LGBT individuals?
From what I've seen, I haven't seen any discrimination among my friends and the people around me. They've been very loving and understanding of whatever situation they may be
To
in.
be honest, I came to USA in 4 years. I was 13. Before that, I didn't even know that there is such thing that will exist as LGBT. I have no idea. I've never been teached about it or haven't even know about it. So I don't think if there is or there's not.
How do you believe society views LGBT members?
I think society has become more accepting.
I think they've gotten more understanding about it, but it's still definitely discrimination, and it's not.
I think that's all over the map, and there are places where it's a great thing and places where it's a horrible thing, and most places are in the middle.
I think that society has become more accustomed to them, and they become more understanding of where they're coming from.
Well, I feel like in the U.S. it's actually overall pretty good view. A lot of people are becoming a lot more open, and most people are getting a view of, even if it's not entirely accepting, it's well, I can't tell other people how to live their lives.
What are some examples of discrimination of LGBT that you've seen either on campus or in Cache Valley?
So I've more of just seen the second hand of it.
Okay, so there's lots of housing discrimination.
I think that Cache Valley is very closed-minded when it comes to gay rights and everything.
I have some friends that say that LGBTs are going to hell, or this is not natural, it's weird, it's not normal.
Whenever we have booths for anything, for the Gay Straight Alliance on campus, people will be walking in a straight line and they'll see us and they'll just do this and keep walking. People very often will come start talking to us, and then we'll explain what they are, and they'll smile and walk away very quickly, or they'll turn away. People just feel very uncomfortable even coming near us.
What are some ways to better inform students on LGBT issues? I think just by asking questions. There's an LGBT club on campus, and I think that people ask questions, they can become more informed and have a view of.
Just make them more aware of the resources that we have on campus.
Send lots of same-sex people to go kiss on the A. Because then it's just exposure.
Despite all the negativity and the anguish that LGBT members have suffered, there's still good in the world, and things are changing for the better. As people grow to accept each other and learn to get along as human beings, we make life better for everyone.
If you say